something feels so bright. Chat, why are you so bright today? Am I crazy? Is it my screen? Y'all too bright. Oh, motherfucker, it's my window. One second, let me close my window. God damn. I thought I could sober up slowly today. I had a crazy dream today. I had a dream that I woke up and then someone wrote a fucking Google Doc. You believe that? That's always... I'm telling you, ever since I became a streamer, my dreams are different.
We are glowing every day.
Yeah, the skincare is doing wonders for you guys. Chat, ever since I became a VTuber, right? Your nightmares and your dreams becomes different. You know, a lot of my dreams involve a lot of Google Docies, random callouts, accidentally doxing myself. That's a lot of my dreams recently. Well, not recently, actually. Ever since I became a VTuber. You know how weird that is? It's a premonition. I doxed myself, yeah. I had a dream last night. I grew a pee-pee. Damn, that's a dream. That's a reality for me, looks down. When I look down, Michi Jr. looks back up at me. When the sun rises, so does he. Writing! You know, I have a question, but I'm not gonna say it out loud now, should
Henya saw your unboxing and explains some of the items she gave you.
Yo, what the fuck is that? Henya gave me this butt cleanser. It's really good though. I feel like one day someone's gonna look at my ass and go, whoa, you got smooth, glowing ass. And I have Henya to thank for that. You know what I've always wanted to be, chat? Before I was a streamer, I swear, my life could end up in different paths, right? If I was never a streamer, if I made it in the fashion industry, which is a very low chance, I would probably be a fashion person. And I'd probably be a little bit snobby. And I was set for that, you know? I would have been like I look at you up and down, and I go, you are wearing that. Ugh, I don't know why the me in the future in my head would have been a little French. But only a little? Oh, you're right. I'd be really fucking snobby. I'd be like, oh, you are wearing that to the function. Disgusting. You know? Or I become a sugar baby. I thought about this. I genuinely deadass thought about this. I think at one point, there's a point in your life, right, chat? Where a boy turns into a man. And when you're a man, you drink with your family. You know? So I was a little tipsy. And I told my mom that. My mom was like, yeah, I get that. And I was like, I thought that I'd just be a sugar baby. Or something like that, you know? Either way, is that how it works? Well, I just wanted to be snobby if I can be so honest with you. But back in my day, I thought, like, when you're starting off, you know what I mean? Here's the difference, chat. When you first start making money and you first start working, you get... Well, you don't really have to get a college degree, but you start working. Who the fuck said, are you pretty enough? Damn, chat! With enough money, I could be... Shit! It's about personality or something. Rude or real. I think that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Type shit. Get that Botox, queef. I do have Botox for my bruxism, but I will never complain about the fact that it makes my jawline kind of cinched, you know? You know something? Oh my, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, sugar babies. What was I talking about? Sugar babies. Oh yeah, chat, hear me out. There's a time in your life, right, where you're starting to make a name of yourself. You know, you're starting to work. You're slowly starting to live that type of life.
Michi will always be prettier than you, bud.
Aw, thanks. I paid Pharaoh to say that, but I paid Pharaoh to say that. That's true. I'm actually a really gorgeous woman, whatever they say. Ouch. You start making a name of yourself and you become a snobby person. You know what I mean? You're like, you start thinking about money. You realize that life is not just about whimsy. You start thinking that you gotta make cash. And then when you do make cash, you kind of want to be more snobby than you are, you know? Like, I want to have better clothes and better blah blah. I want to have a better car and a better something. You want people to know that you make money. So then you start turning a little bit snobby. You don't have to be snobby. I think the word isn't snobby. Maybe it's like cocky or a show off, right? I had that phase in life. And then eventually as you get older, you realize that when you die, you can't even bring money with you. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, pretentious. Like, well, it's not arrogant as in a bad arrogant, you know? You just want people to know that you're serious, right? It's usually that phase where people used to treat you like you're a kid, and you want to prove to people that you aren't a kid no more, because you aren't. And you're trying to prove to them. You're trying to prove something. And then as you get older, chat, you realize you don't have to prove anything. Not because you love yourself or anything, but because you got lazy. That's my truth. You just stop giving a shit. Because when you're younger, you're like, I'm gonna prove to them, I'm gonna prove to somebody that I am somebody. And as you get older, you're like, damn, I guess I am somebody. I don't need to prove shit. Why am I breaking my back? I'm working so hard and I'm doing all this shit to prove to people I don't give a shit about. Right? Well, I don't care about you. Why do I have to prove anything to you? So you leave it unsaid. People think it's humility or humbleness. But I think it's just part of growing up and slowly giving less of a fuck, okay? In that phase, honestly, it's a very peaceful way of living. When you're younger, you want to prove something to your friends, family, relatives, teachers, adults, boss, coworkers, anybody. And the older you get, that list of people that are important kind of shrinks. Right now, I'm trying to prove to my mom that she didn't fail at raising me. That's the only thing I'm trying to prove. And my mom's definition of having like damn, I didn't fail when I raised you, kiddo, is growing up to be a polite, happy person. Is it rude to say? Nah, chat, here's the thing, right? It's not just that. A lot of people are still like that. It depends on what pride is. My mom wants to raise someone that gives a fuck about other people, you know? Someone that cares about somebody. Someone that can think beyond just themselves. And because of that, I have developed myself to become like that. And that's the only thing I'm trying to prove. But back then, I was trying to prove that I'm like, hey, I know what I'm saying. I make money and I have taste. So I thought that I wanted to be a sugar baby too. So she failed. Actually, just because I can't think about something more than myself doesn't mean that I failed. It means that I can't think at all. And also... also, chat, my mama raised me to be a polite man. And I think I may just not be a man at all. There's something deep behind what I just said. There is. You'll understand when you're older. When you get to my age, chat, cracks back, breaks neck. You'll understand what... I'm not a man. I'm still a boy. That's something I'm realizing, chat. When you're younger, you can't wait to be a man. And then when you grow up, you just want to be a boy. You know, real talk is when you start making real man money, you're gonna spend it on shit that you wanted as a boy. Like recently, I bought some toys for myself. Gee, that's the joy. You know, it's not a... There's a phase in life where you're like, ugh, it's only fucking 23. I'm 23 and I'm gonna buy things a 23-year-old would buy. Like luxury shit and blah, blah, blah. No. Once you start making real man money, you're gonna use that real man money to bring joy to your inner boy. You know what I mean? You just get shit that will make you... That you thought would make you happy as a kid. And it makes you happy as an adult. Gambling. That's true. When I was 10 years old... Actually, I gambled since I was a wee old kid. Did you know, chat? When I was in... Lord time. When I was in 6th grade, I actually got into trouble to the point that I almost got suspended. Which is funny because I had a scholarship. So if you don't know this, my family... I have a brother, right? So putting 2 kids through the education system is a very expensive investment. So I was lucky enough to have a scholarship because I used to be a bright kid. You see that? I used to be a pretty bright kid when I was a kid. However, because of that, you have to upkeep your grades and you can't be late. You can't miss school. You know, I'm honest. Okay, I'm a very honest person. I had a scholarship that could give me a medical degree. Did you know that, chat? I could have worked in the medical field or the science field, but I decided to take fashion because I found it interesting. And I think fashion is a very important thing, by the way. However, I used to do scholarships from primary all up until high school before I dropped out. It was a lot of pressure, but I did it. But when I was in 6th grade, I almost got my scholarship revoked because they caught me gambling. I was like hanging out with a bunch of friends after school before my extra classes. And then I would run this little tiny gambling ring. It's not really a ring, it's just a group of people where we just hang out before we go home or continue our extra classes. And you just gamble, you know? I would never put money down, but they would. And I'd get that money. Yeah, and then they caught me. A floating poker game. We played chapsa. I don't know what chapsa is in English, but there's this card game called chapsa. And I'm always able to get more people because with chapsa, it's very important that you play with 4, right? You need 4 people to play. So every time we're one man
Michi
short, I always
saved
drag
more
someone.
people by not getting the medical scholarship, okay?
I could have been a medical guy, maybe. Why you naked around there, NFL? What do you mean by that? Michi ran a gambling den. Well, at first it was me and some friends, and eventually it's just me. But you know what? It got caught. I got caught by one of the teachers, and it got reported. And then I almost got my scholarship revoked for it. And then my parents had to be like, no, it's an innocent game. She's a kid. How would she know about gambling? I knew exactly what...
Classic mafia
there.
princess, running a gambling den and taking the profit.
I still remember this, Jet. I had to be like, what's gambling? Goo goo gaga. I don't know what gambling is. I saw this in a movie, and I thought that this was normal. I thought it's just how the games are. I damn well know what gambling is. Fuck. Yeah, it was gambling. I did it. Full awareness. But my mom told me, she looked me dead in the eye and she was like, lie. Michi, lie. You don't know what gambling is. You do not know what gambling is. You thought that this is normal. That's your truth. And I'm like, okay, mama. I damn know what gambling was. I grew up, right? My grandpa gambled. My other grandpa gambled. My uncle gambled. My aunt gambled. A lot of my family, we come from a family of gamblers. But we also come from a family of losers. Okay, so we're usually always low-key in debt. Exactly. Because we suck. But I knew what gambling was. I saw that shit when I was a kid. When I was a kid, they taught me how to play chapsa, blackjack, mahjong. My other uncle gambled. Oh, this is a little bad, but it's actually very normal in my country, especially back in the day. You know, like dog fights, right? And here's the thing. That's where I draw the line. I don't fucking like that. My uncle gambled in chicken fights. Not dog fights, chicken fights. I don't think it's very normal abroad.
What's gambling? Said Michi after skimming 15% off the winners.
Well, that's just called entrepreneurship. Yeah, literally, cockfights. What the fuck is dog fight? You don't want to know. So back then, this was back then. A lot of fucked up things happened in the past, okay? But usually it's very normal to gamble in a lot of things. One of them are dog fights. I don't like it. I draw the line in any gambling that involves hurting a life, which includes animals. But back then, my uncle had a chicken coop, and he would raise his chickens because he would then put them in cockfights, and he would gamble money in cockfighting. Is that normal where you are, chat? Do you have that in your country?
Wait, what was that word? Entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship? Oh, I guess I will. If you say... Yeah, no, I'm Mexican, so yeah, it's illegal here. In the Philippines, there is pigs. Oh, illegal? No, illegal? I think at that time, chat, I'm not even kidding, it's not illegal. Is it illegal now? I think it's more illegal now. But back then, oh my god, it's super fucking normal. You walk down the street, you turn a left at a random store, and boom, you just have that. People just kind of gamble on anything. Maybe it's a Southeast Asian thing. One thing I realized, when I was in America, chat, I met this guy, and he's Mexican. And then we were just talking about life, right? And every 3 seconds, we have the, oh my god, you're just like me moment. And then he looked me dead in the eye, and he was like, you're an honorary Mexican. And I'm like, I'm just Indonesian,
It's
bro.
illegal in the States, but we still have fucked up shit like SeaWorld.
What's that? Oh, like fish. Like an aquarium? You know what's crazy? In Indo, SeaWorld is the name of an aquarium. Yeah, they looked at me and like, you are an honorary Mexican. And I'm like, I'm just Indo. But we have a lot of similar shit. Like every time we talk, I'm like, this is my culture. And they're like, oh my god, I have that too. And I'm like, oh yeah, I do this. And he's like, I do that too. I'm like, I love doing this. Oh my god, we love doing that too. So, the M in Michi stands for Mexican. I do realize we have a lot of like similarities. Southeast Asia and Latin cultures. Similar. It's almost like Spaniards and Portuguese. Actually, chat, I don't think we were colonized by the Spaniards or Portuguese, history-wise. I don't think Indo was. I might be wrong, though. Don't ask me about my history, chat. Well, going by our history, yeah, were we? Either way, I think it's really cool that something about history kind of bleeds into the culture you have now. That's sick. Indonesia's history isn't just 19... Dude, Indonesia... we're pretty early. Like, we're pretty babies when it comes to, like... We were independent in 1945. We're kind of baby, chat. It hasn't even been 100 years. We're kind of baby. Whoa. History is being made right now. I like to think that one day in the future, someone's gonna look back and try to do research, right? Like those ant people. What is it? Antrographists. There's like this job where people... There's the word ant in it that has nothing to do with ants. Yeah, anthropologist. I figured that out. There's like a job with the word ant that has nothing to do with ants. One of those. And like historians.
Anthropologists.
Anthropologists. Yeah. They're gonna look back and they try to figure out what the hell happened in the past. And they're gonna one day find VTubers. And they're like, whoa. I wonder what they consider VTubers are, you know? Like, they're gonna see a VTuber and they're like, my goodness. This is their medium of communication. This is what they used to look like. We become our own species or some shit. Ooh. Public jesters? Get this guy out of here.
Are they studying how ant people apologize?